All right. So, good morning, everybody. We're going to be talking about keywords and how Google uses. Um, Hold on one second. I gotta let somebody in. Okay, here we go. So, in Google Ads, how do we use the keywords as an AI intent signals? So, and I'll explain all of that to you guys. This presentation will be about 40 minutes and I will open it up to questions. Or if you guys want, we can go an entire hour and you either unmute and ask your question or put it in a chat, whatever works for you guys. I'm going to open it up because this is just some really good information and I want you guys to take it in. And if you have any suggestions or questions, feel free to ask. So this recording will be sent to you. Put it in the chat as you go along, and that's okay. All right, we can totally do that. We can put it in the chat as we go along, okay? So as I said, you guys can take this presentation, the recording, and watch it over. It's on YouTube. It's on Digital Marketing Experts YouTube channel, and I will send you an email with a link to the presentation's PowerPoint and to the video so you can see what we talked about and if there's anything that you need help with. My name is Miriam Golubgir. I'm the Chief Amazement Officer, self-made title, of Digital Marketing Experts. I started this business 12 years ago and I come from a background of corporate marketing. I'm very technical. I've always been on the technical side of things. So I always look at marketing like building a house. You have to build the foundation and make sure the foundation works really well, and then you build up on top of that. So what I'm about to teach you guys is based on my years of experience working in the corporate world and working with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of small businesses over the past 12 years and helping them come up with, marketing strategies that works for them, build their website, and have search engine optimization strategies and run ads for them. All right, so let's get started. Today, what are we talking about? We're talking about keywords. Why are we talking about keywords? Well, keywords are words that we use to connect with people now, or search for things. So we use words to go on Google and look for things, whether we're trying to buy it or we're just shopping around, we're not 100%, or we're trying to get to it. We put certain words in there to find it. Now, because the way AI has come in, everyone's like, well, keywords are dead. They're not dead. They are there, but they're no longer the king where when we would run ads, we would just pick like 30 keywords and say, these are the keywords that people are searching for. It doesn't work like that anymore. It still works, but not to that degree. So we're going to talk about how you guys are going to use keywords to run ads. Now, when we talk about ads, it's all sorts of Google ads, okay? So Google ads, it could be a map ad where you come up on the map. It could be an ad that people search and then you just see your listing on the top there. Or it could be a display ad. Again, you got to use certain keywords to get that going. Or it could be a product ad that you're trying to sell and you're using Google Merchant for your ads. And then you're creating a connection between your Google Merchant and your Google Ads. Okay, so in the past, we used to pick 30, 40, 50, 10 keywords and put them into our ads and say, anybody that's looking for, let's say, web development, pull Miriam up. That doesn't work anymore. So now the way it works is Google predicts based on the intent of that person, whatever that is, because Google has 20 plus years of more than 20 plus years of data from all of us. So they know what we do. They know our search history. They know our behavior patterns. They know the location context. They know where we're looking for predominantly and where we want to go based on the way that we've driven and used the map to get to it. Device signals, are we using it mostly on our desktop or are we using it on mobile? How do we and then it will put it, if we use our mobile a lot more than our desktop, that ad will come mostly on our mobile device. And then audience data. So who are we? What's our demographic? Are we 30 plus? Do we have children? Do we have children? Do we shop at like Whole Food? What's our income level? So all of that contributes to the ad that's being run more than the actual just a single keyword that one's using. Okay, so let me explain how this works. I'm going to give you an example. So two people are searching for running shoes. I'll give you a perfect example with me. I run, so I'm looking for a running shoes, and I look for I'm not always ready to buy. I'm a shopper that looks for, what's the best review on this product. I look at options that I have available. Do I want to buy it from Running Room, or do I want to go strictly to, like, let's say I'm buying a Hoka shoes. Do I want to go to Hoka to buy the shoes, or do I want to go to Running Room to buy the shoes? What's the price difference? So I'm a researcher. So I'm user A. So I research before I buy. User B is my husband, where he sees it, he buys it. No research. He doesn't care. If he doesn't like it, he'll throw it out. So that's user B. Both of us are going to look for the word running shoes. But my intent is different than his intent. And Google already knows what his intent is like and what my intent is like. So when Google shows me running shoes, what it does is it stacks up the layers. So it knows that I'm going to look at Hoka and I'm going to look at Running Room, and I might look at DWS, or I'm going to be looking at Sports Check. So what it does is it stacks the ads based on my intent. And I then go through it and say, oh, okay, because I bought this way, because of my past experience, I'm going to look at Hoka, and then I'm going to look at running shoes, and then I'm going to look at Running Room, and then I'm going to look at Sports Check. Same intent. So what you need to understand here is that your number one goal is to figure out who your customer is and what are they looking for. So more you get to know your customers. I know my customers inside and out because I treat them like friends, and I call them and I ask how things are going, and then I jot down information that they provide me. So I build personas. I build summaries of most of my clients, because this client, if I really love this client and this client's going to bring me business over and over and over and been with me for 12 years and has been telling others about me, this is my moneymaker. This person is my moneymaker. So I want more people like this individual to come into my life. So I will study this individual and I will get as much information I can from them. And then based on his or her patterns and because people always tell you what they like and what they don't like. So if I know they're the type of people that are shopping around, I will make sure that I tell Google Ads that the intent of all of my customers are to do with shopping around and researching rather than buying exactly. So place me in between and make sure I come in where I have the best price tag. Again, if you have questions, put them on the chat. So, how AI interprets behavior. You and me every single one of you have a different way of shopping. You look for things differently. Some of you like to watch videos of a product before you buy it. Some of you like to go onto the website and then put it in a shopping cart, and then go to Walmart and put it in a shopping cart, and then go to Amazon and put it in a shopping cart, and then see if you can get a better deal. And whichever is cheaper, that's the one you're going to buy. Those are signals. We call them signals. So if you search for things, let's say if you search for running shoes in the past, that's a signal that describes you. If you watched videos, that's again, I would put you as a target audience for me, because I want people that have watched videos to do with running shoes, for example. You're good at going onto the website and engaging with the website and moving around a website. That's again is a signal. Shopping cart behavior, putting products in the shopping cart, removing them, not necessarily sure if you're going to buy it today, and then log back in the next day and see if it's still there, and then you buy it. Another signal. CRM is a client relationship management. So CRM data is the information you collect from your customers, and then you input that into your Google Ads. And there's a place that you go in and you do that. Sorry, I'm just going to pause for 1 second. There's a question. Do corporate intent restricts the behavior of our customer, like the use their use of Google AI? My client search from their work computer. So do corporate internets restrict? That's a really good question. It depends on the corporation, but for the most part, they can't. I mean, they can block certain sites and say don't go on it, but no, they can't say, oh well, I don't. Again, it all depends on certain certain corporations, like big, like I know for the government, for example, you can't get on TikTok using your government account. Or if you're working in a government building, you can't get into TikTok. But I don't think they can change your intent and your use of Google, because when you log into, so usually most people have a Google Gmail address, or they log in, or they go online and they look at their Google. So I don't, the answer is I don't know. But I don't think they can. But that's a really good question. Okay, so let's go back to this. Intent of shopping is what we're going to use moving forward to create a model for all the ads that we create so we can get the perfect ad delivery. Now, let's talk about how we're going to structure this intent. So what we usually do is we say, what do I want my customer to do when they come and see my ad? So let's say if I want people, so I'll give you an example. I have a customer who has 3 separate products. So one product is an actual car part that they produce. The second piece is they have a composite repair company. So they repair, if you have a car that's broken and it's made of composite, they'll repair that. The third piece is that they also take that composite and they offer it to other industries. So, and that happens. A lot of us have different products that we sell or different services that we sell. So there's 3 segments to a campaign that you create. You can create an awareness campaign where you want people to be aware that you are providing, let's say, this composite for other industries. You can be the composite service provider for the health industry or the automotive industry or the aerospace industry. That's awareness. They just have to know who you are. They're not going to necessarily do much about it. A consideration is that they're like, oh, okay, so this is what they do. Now I'm going to consider them, and if I need their services, I'm going to be using them. A conversion is what everybody should look for. Oh, by the way, consideration is also when people click on your ads. They're just reading it. They're not doing anything. They just click. So that click is considered a consideration. Impressions is awareness when they've seen it, but they've done nothing about it. Consideration is they clicked on it, but a conversion is when they go onto my client's website and they either buy the car parts or put in contact information to get information about how to restore their composite part, or they are from a big health company and they want to work with them. So there's different segments. Now, the messaging for each one of them will be different, correct? Because we're asking for different things. If it's an awareness, I don't necessarily want you to contact me. So I'm just telling you, hey, did you know that I do composite for all sorts of industries? If I want you to do, click, I will say click here and read more. Read more is usually a consideration because you want to learn more about it. And conversion is contact me today, shop. So you have to have your call to actions for each one of them separately. That's your messaging. Your message that you're telling them is different. Now the landing pages are different as well. So let's say you're running an ad for awareness. I want you to know that I am the composite god when it comes to all industries. So that page will be very informative. We'll have white papers. It will have information about the services that I provide, the industries that we work with. And then if I want you to buy something off of me, I will make sure it's an e-commerce page so that you can actually click, purchase, go put in the cart, and check out. So that landing page is different. And if it's in a page where I want you to fill up a form, I will give you some information, and then I will ask you to fill up a form. When I run these as separate ads, my budget also will be different because I don't want to pay so much money for impressions, right? Because impressions means nothing to me. It's just, people are going to see it, but they're not going to do anything. So you want to spend the least amount of dollar on that. You want to spend the most amount of dollar on conversion because that's where your customers are going to come into the picture and say, hey, I loved you, I found you, I bought from you, I want to buy more. So those are the guys you want to spend the most amount of budget on. All right. Let's talk about first-party data power. So what does that mean? Almost all of us have customer relationships management softwares. We're either using, or even as low as working with an Excel sheet to putting it on HubSpot. This is where we put, or even QuickBook. So we have a list of places where we put information about our customers or people that we've connected with and networked with. So we put them in a CRM system, and that's called our customer list. And then if we're very savvy and we want to grow this even more, what we do is we add in who are our past purchases, what they bought from us, and give it more depth and information. So once we do that, we basically have a lot of information of our customers, correct? Another layer that we add into this, and we can say, so let's say I have 175 clients. Out of my 175 clients, 5 are my high value clients. The 5 are people that have been with me for 12 years and I make a good amount of money from them and I get 10 to 12 referrals per year or per month from them. That's called a high value client. So it's so important that you have a CRM and you have that information in there because now it's easier for you to identify who's that perfect target audience. And when you identify that, you can say, okay, my perfect audience is someone like Miriam. Miriam is a mother. She, shops a lot. She has the means to make the purchases of my products that I needed to. Okay, Google, here's my list of all of my clients. Oh shit, sorry, I said her name. Stop. No, nothing Google, don't think. I have a Google device and it just went up. You can tell it, okay, I have this CRM. Upload that list into Google when you are building your ads and say to it, find me the lookalike of the exact same person. No. Sorry, I had to unplug the. Okay, buddy, stop. Let me just do this so it doesn't hear me. My apologies, my Google device is going nuts. You can upload into your Google Ads and tell it to look for people that are a lookalike of this high value customers or everybody that has in the past bought from you or everybody that's in your contact list. So this takes you back to, again, you have to make sure you know who your customers are, who's your target audience, and use that information to grow your ads as you go. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's talk about conversion. So as I said, we love conversion. We don't want consideration or awareness. We want sales. We want money. Customer, money, fill up a call. That's what I want. So that means that when I run my ads and I have keywords and I'm picking keywords based on those conversion pieces or this conversion signals, I need to be able to track it, right? So if you're using words that are related to conversion, you want them to, call us to purchase, or call us or buy today, or click here to purchase. So you have to track that on the other end. So what you want to do is you want to track on your Google ad reports or your Google Analytics the following. You want to track what's the scroll depth. This is where scroll depth is when you go on your phone and you scroll up. You want to see how far they go. Once they click on the ad and they came to your website, where did they go? How far did they go when they were scrolling up and down? Did they add to the cart and they tried to purchase it? If they filled up a form, was it a qualified lead form or was it just spam from Russia? What was it? Did you get sales calls? Did you record the sales calls you got? So if you ran an ad, let's say you spent $500 to run an ad, you got 10 calls. Out of that 10 calls, how many of them did you, there were legit sales calls? And then did you close deals? If you close the deals, how many of those, you spent $500? So that means you have to make at least $1,000 or at least, $800 to make worthwhile what you have spent, correct? So you want to make sure how many deals did you close? Where did that deal come from? Did it come from the qualified leads off of your forms or did it come from calls? That changes the story. It changes how we run the next set of ads. If you're getting more calls and not form fills, forget it. We're not going to run form fills. We're going to get calls. So how am I going to change the words, the keywords I'm using to change the conversation on my ads so I can get the leads that I want? Does that all make sense? Everybody's good so far? Okay, good. I'm going to keep going. You don't want to you don't want to, look at data that is shallow and things like that. I got 5 clicks. I got, 2,000 impressions. It doesn't really matter because it's not what we can use as a moneymaker. All right. One of the things that we need to worry about is, and it's important, is to make sure if we want people to convert and we know that who our target audience is and they're most likely to convert, we want to make sure and put information on our landing pages that matches what they will read to confirm their intent to convert. Okay, so you want to match the content to your customer, and we all know who our best customers are. We may not have jogged it down on a piece of paper and know exactly who they are, but we all know who our best customers are. So you want to match the stages where your user is going. So intent usually means that I have, certain criterias. My intent is to buy this, but then I need to go to the site and research it. So that means if you're putting information about a cup, you need to make sure you give me enough information. Let me just add a couple of people in here. Here we go. So if you're giving me information about a cup, you want to make sure that you've done your research and there's detail about this cup. What's so special about this cup? Well, it has this grip and it won't burn your hand. And this part is plastic, but it's doesn't have the toxins in it. And then this part keeps it warm. So that's the research page. That's where you provide me with information. And then you're like, well, my cup is better than all the other people's cup because, this cup, it lasts longer and it's dishwasher safe. So now you're comparing it. That's the comparison page. This is where you're comparing my product to the other people. So now I've got my research done, my comparison done, because I want to see if this cup's better than the other one. The next layer is direct purchase. Do you want me to buy this right away? And on that direct purchase, there's pieces that you have to add in there. You have to put the product, the image, all the images of the product. Is there any direction of how to use this cup? Is there any dimensions of what the size of this cup is? And then add in pieces like, well, Miriam and 5 of her friends bought this and they loved it, and they wrote a review. So put that review in the purchase section because that kind of solidifies that this is a good cup and I should buy it because Miriam and 5 of her friends bought it and they love it. Look at the reviews they left, and some of them took pictures of them with the cup and put it in there. Similar to what happens with Amazon. When we buy something off of Amazon, what do? We go into the page, we read the content of what the product is, and then we all scroll down to see what people had written in the review. So you have to mimic that onto your landing page. And if you don't do that, that kind of creates this misalignment between what you're trying to sell and what your expectations are. And that kind of destroys your conversion rate. So you want to make sure, again, we're going to provide the research of the product. We're going to give a comparison of what it is next to other products. We're going to have a section that talks about, okay, you ready to buy? Here's the product. Go ahead. This is all the dimensions, all the descriptions of the product. Here's some images for you to look at. There's a video of me holding it. Look, there's a cup. And then, oh, Miriam and 5 of her friends wrote a review at the bottom and some pictures. That should solidify why you should buy this product right away. So that landing page changes the intent. And when you have that done properly, then you can set up your ad to match that exact information on your landing page. So once you do that piece, which is aligning your landing page, knowing that you want people to convert, you've already figured out how they're going to convert when they land on your landing page. Then you need to figure out, okay, how much money am I going to spend? So each intent gets a different budget. If I just want, just people to know who I am, the awareness piece, shouldn't be spending a lot of money for cold traffic, because that cold traffic is just cold traffic. It doesn't do anything. There's no intent to it. But if that cold traffic has looked at things and now you're like, wait, they're coming to the website and putting in a shopping cart. Oh, okay. So that turns into, okay, maybe I want to retarget that person. A retargeting is when I looked at something or I've searched for it on my Google, and then now there's ads running everywhere around me to show me that product again and again and again. That's called retargeting, because you're targeting me again, so I would buy it. That's called warm retargeting. So you can allocate a specific budget to that as well. And then there's high intent research. These are the people that are like ready to buy. They're searching and they're about 10 minutes away from purchasing it from you. So if you run a campaign, the rule of thumb is, let's say on a small scale, you allocate $20 a day. Okay, so you say, or $10 a day. Let's say it's $10 a day. At $10 a day, you're at $300 a month. Okay, so let's say at $10 a day, you think to yourself, okay, so I'm gonna run 3 campaigns. I'm gonna run 3 campaigns. Campaign number 1 will be just to get people to come. Traffic. I just need traffic. Campaign number 2, I want people to buy this product. But I'm sure they're not gonna buy right away, so I gotta set up a retargeting. And then campaign number 3, I'm going to set that retargeting into purchase. I want them to buy. So there's different types of campaigns you set up. Your retargeting is usually a display ad, because that ad image follows people around. Or it's your Google merchant account where the ad you see the product as you go everywhere else. So let's say you are on Google and you're shopping, and then you decide that I'm going to go on Toronto Star and read something. You'll see that product. That on Toronto Star, you see it on a corner and you're like, oh, I was just looking at that. So that's display or Google merchant. And then your shop is either maximize performance or search ad. So now you're running 3 different campaigns. So your $10 doesn't really go far if you split it between 3 campaigns. So the way you should set it up is, I just want the traffic to come in, which means I'm going to put maybe $2 on that. And then I'm going to put another $4 on, I'm going to put another, let's make it $20. Okay. Let's make it $20. So I have some money to play with here. I'm going to dedicate $5 to my cold traffic, because I want traffic to just come in. And then I'm going to dedicate another $6, $7 to my retargeting, because that's going to go a really long way. They're going to see it. And then the remaining of the budget, I'm going to put it to get them to purchase, because I want them to purchase. So I'm going to go strong on the purchasing part. So as you see, it's every one of them have a different separate budget. And again, but everything else about that campaign has to be the exact same. It has to be the same group of people that are coming in. It has to be the same location they're coming in from. It should be from, the same set of keywords, but the budget would be a little different. So there are attributes that we use that we tell Google, and these are the attributes that I want to use to kind of figure out who and where and what they're doing on my Google ads. one of the attributes, so these attributes are pieces that we put into our conversion. So we go into the conversion, we say, I want Miriam to come onto my website. Okay. I want Miriam to come on my website, and I want Miriam to go into shopping section, buy, check out, and then say thank you and go. So what we've done is we said the attribute we set is that I want the last click. I want to measure the last click of what Miriam has done on my website, which is incorrect because I have to finish a purchase in order for you to measure that last click. And then I'm the perfect customer. And that's great. You want the perfect customer, but you also want everybody else to see how wonderful your products are. And if they don't know how great you are, you want to go back and talk to them until they know who you are. So what you want to do is the attributes that you put into your Google Ads is you want it to be data driven, which means I want to collect information. I don't want that person that just clicked on the checkout page and bought. I want to collect data. I want to know the people that are seeing my ads because you're looking for new customers. So I want to see who's coming in, where they're coming in from, how often do they click on my stuff, on my ad, sorry. Did they come from what after watching a video? And that information is all provided to you on the conversion section of your Google Ads. And you also want to add another component to that, which is your CRM. And your CRM gives you feedback, correct? So let's say the data that you collected says that you got a lot of people that are in, let me use a good example. So let's say the ad that you were running had to do with mortgages and you got a lot of data. You collect a lot of data. These people that looked at your ads, their intent was to buy a property and use your company to, or if you looked at your stuff to use you for the mortgages. But then you want to look at your CRM and see how many of them did you collect? And does that match what your existing target audience is? So what that means is that if a lot of people that were buying and selling homes, let's say in this market, we're looking for mortgage brokers, on your CRM, is that who usually comes and works with you? Or is it usually people that are looking to buy? Or is it people that are looking to sell? Or is it people that were referred to you by somebody else? So you want to look at the feedback that you get from your CRM as well. And I also want a revenue map. So you want to make sure that you map where you're starting, how much money you're spending, and which one of these products you're going to advertise is going to bring you the most amount of revenue, and how is it going to impact that one particular product if you advertise it. And once you advertise it, how much money did you make for that from advertising that product as a whole, and who was your high value customer? If you had 10 high value customers from that product, you want to map this revenue to see, okay, clearly my e-commerce is doing better than my services, so I'm going to put and allocate more budget to this particular one. I'm not going to do the retargeting because it didn't work, the impressions didn't work, the awareness didn't work. It's the conversion that worked the best. So the 2026 framework is very simple. If you're about to run an ad, before you run an ad, you figure out how you're going to structure your campaign. What's the plan? Do we want ads that provide just people going and looking at it? Or are we looking for clicks? Do we want people just to click? Or no, we want sales. We want sales, we want calls, we want e-commerce sales, we want form fills. So based on that, you structure your campaign. Am I going to be running a search ad? Am I going to be running a display ad so I can retarget my product against this person until they come and purchase it? Or am I going to be just running, Google merchant product ads where they can just buy the product? That's all I want. And then if I'm going to do that, once my ad is done, they're going to go to my website. Is my website ready? Are the pages aligned with my ads? Am I talking about 20% discount on my ads, but I'm not displaying it on the website? Because they're going to come and want that. So you want to align every page to the product that you're advertising on Google. And then you want to feed revenue back. So you are spending dollars and you want to see how is this going to come back. And if it's going to come back, which platform, which campaign is bringing that money back. And based on that, you want to make sure that you scale and grow that profit, which means you have to look at your data. You have to look at your Google Ads reports. You have to look at your Google Analytics reports, because if your Google Ads reports only shows what Google is pushing out to people. Google Analytics reports shows what people are doing when they come into the website. And that's the piece that matters more than anything, because once they come to the website, that's where the action happens. Where do they go? What do they do? How long do they stay on the website? Engagement rates. Are they spending time with every page, or are they just looking at a couple pages and bouncing? That's your bounce rate. Is it high? How much time they spend on each page? Is it less than 30 seconds? That's all garbage. You don't want people to be on your website for less than 30 seconds. And an intent-driven person to make a purchase will be on a website for a minimum of 4 hours. 4 minutes, not hours. 4 minutes. And then anything above and beyond that, we have to figure out why they are on your on the website and what they're doing. So your job should be that I'm going to take a look at my data today and see what have I done on my Google Analytics, what have I done on my Google Ads. Look at that data, try to understand it so you can make sense of how you're going to set up your your campaigns. How are you going to collect data off of the people that are clicking on your ads? So that being said, I kind of jumped a little bit on the last one. So what you're going to do is you're going to audit. You're going to audit all your signals. So you're going to audit, number one, your analytics. You're going to go on your website analytics and you're going to look at your analytics. Who's coming on my website? And identify those individuals. If you have 30 people coming on your website, which location are they coming from? Is it from Canada? Great. Where in Canada? Is it in Toronto? Wonderful. Are they new users? Great. Do we have information about their interests? Do we have information about what they shopped from? Are they people that have called me? If I had 21 people show up on my website, did I get 12 calls? So once you audit your existing website and you have that information, and then when you start running ads, you can compare it to what you've already collected prior to running those ads. Secondly, if you have campaigns set up, you want to go and restructure it so it's intent-based rather than click-based. You want to refine your landing pages. You want to make sure the information you're providing on every landing page matches what you want this person to do. You want to be concise, to the point, and tell them this is exactly what I need you to do. On that landing page, provide images, provide videos, provide anything and everything you need to get these people to come in and want to work with you. Import your CRM revenue. People have come to you and worked with you, they loved you, and they gave you money for it. So you don't have to necessarily import the numbers, but what you want to do is you want to look at that number and say, okay, my high value customers brought X amount of dollars into my business. How do I get these individuals and build a lookalike of these individuals so I can get more money that comes my way? And once you did that, you want to test and continuously scale up and keep going forward with what are we going to improve and what are we going to remove. There's so many ads that we run that don't do much, because we run the ad and we see the click, and then on the other side, nothing has happened. You always want to look at the other side, which is your analytics, and see, okay, I ran this ad from Google. They came to my website. What did you do? Did you call me? Did you buy something from me? How did that work? Now, a few things I want you to remember is that if you are putting keywords into your ads, that keyword has to help me clarify what my intent is. So if I'm looking to buy a pair of green pants and you have the green pants, you have to place that green pants in front of me and say, green pants that goes well with white shirt, because my intent was to match that with white shirt, or that would be one of your keywords. The next one would be green pants that can be worn in winter, or green pants 2026 fashion trend. because that's what my intent is. My intent is to shop based on what the fashion trends are. So it's not necessarily a single word that you're using anymore. It's using that word to convince your customers that they want to buy, that they're ready to buy from you. And you have to make this obvious because you got to remember, Google is programmed by people and usually by engineers. And engineers are very simple-minded, straight up people. And that computer is a simple-minded, straight up device. So you have to give it exactly what you want this person to see and exactly what you want this person to click on and exactly what you want this person to do when they come to the other side to your website. All right. So we're at 43 minutes. Perfect. So 43 minutes and 24 seconds. I'm going to open it up to questions. Feel free to unmute and ask or chat, put it in the chat, anything that you want.
Hi, Miriam. It's Tanya.
Hi.
Hi. I thought I'd just unmute and ask because I think mine's a little long. Um, so I've got Performance Max and regular Google search ads, and
Yep.
I have split I'm doing the two things and sort of split my budget between the two. And I have been thinking about uploading my buyers, my big ones,
Yeah.
to into Google Max, but Max. But I'll be honest, I'm a little unsure about whether it'll actually work, because the way my customers buy is not completely through their they I sell to organizations, mostly publicly funded. So they come to me based on reputation, not just
Yeah.
because they see me.
Yeah.
And they buy also based on reputation, but then they're usually not the signing manager necessarily. They have to go and get permission to buy for their group of staff.
Okay.
I sell into healthcare, so I'm not sure how to use the Performance Max properly and upload these names. I feel like they'll go nowhere
They will
because
not
of
go
that.
anywhere. So, you sell education, right?
I do, yes, to
Okay.
healthcare.
Yes. Okay. So Performance Max is fantastic for remarketing purposes because what it does is it takes that campaign and squish it in different sizes and puts it in different places and it puts it on your Google Gmail and it puts it on Gmail, it puts it on Discovery, it puts it on YouTube so people can see it. So you don't have to necessarily upload your customer base on that. So if there is a procurement officer that makes that final decision to buy from you. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Which is not the person necessarily the person searching.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think, may I make a suggestion?
Yeah, please.
Okay,
I'm all ears.
okay. So I don't think Performance Max works for you. The reason that right now Google is pushing the Performance Max is because they're removing the feature of phone call and they want your ad to run everywhere. Okay, but that's not your target audience. Your target audience is very B2B. It's not B2C. So
Yes,
Performance
exactly.
Max is more B2C than it is B2B.
Okay.
I'm gonna get shot by Google for saying this. So, but that won't work for you. I think what
Okay.
would work for you is you have to build the funnel. The funnel has to be where, and I think you probably have done this already. On the website is where you want them to fill up a form or contact you immediately once they're
Yes,
satisfied with the information they have.
exactly. I have a light box. When they land on my site, I have a light box asking them to subscribe or call.
Okay, remove the subscribe because no one's going to
Okay.
subscribe. Put a call and put do you have a Calendly?
Yes, I do.
Put a Calendly. Embed a is it a WordPress site?
No, it's Wix.
That's fine. You can embed it's very easy to embed Calendly into Wix.
Okay.
What you want to do is you want to get booked. So you're in the same industry as me because I work with a B2B. So
Okay.
the way I run my ads is on my landing page, I want them to either call me or book an appointment with me. Correct? I don't
Yeah.
care if you fill up a form because I'm not going to see that form. I'm not going to. The reality is that I hate forms and nobody likes to fill up forms. But if it's a Calendly, it goes into my calendar. I see it. It has their phone number, email address, and I'm collecting
Mm.
that information.
Yep.
Put that in, add your phone number everywhere on the website so that they can call you. And then
Yeah.
when you run your ad should, the conversion that you want, first of all, set up your conversion on the Google ad piece on in the tool section that you want to collect calls. That's all you want. You want to collect calls.
Yeah.
And you set up a responsive search ad.
Mhm.
That's it. You run a responsive search ad, and then on that responsive search ad, you then add in your phone number so that when they click on that and call you, you can see how many people called you and collect those
Okay.
conversions.
Okay. Okay.
In
Yeah.
this way, you're not, for a lack of a better term, wasting money on performance campaigns. It doesn't work for you. The other piece that would work for you is, so from time to time when, and this rarely happens, but it happens sometimes, I actually advertise my YouTube videos. So I take a snippet of a webinar I've done and I just advertise that. And that's when I get people that want me to speak at their events.
Mm.
So YouTube ads are really good as well. And you can run YouTube ads off of your Google Ads. So
Yeah.
those ones are great for building your awareness, not
Okay.
necessarily your conversion.
Okay. We have a podcast. I could just remove clips.
Yes.
And yeah, and
Make
advertise.
sure, sorry, go ahead.
No, please, I'm done. Please go ahead.
And make sure that your YouTube page is very pretty. It's very important to make sure your YouTube page is very pretty. Make sure you have your cover page up, make sure your logo's there, and make sure you have your, like, lay out your videos properly, because remember, now that becomes your landing page. When they see the video, that is your landing page.
Great. Okay.
And there you want to put in all, again, put a link to your Calendly, put your phone number, put
Yeah.
your website information. So they're able to contact you and connect with you.
Okay. Okay. I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah,
And
because we're
then
still building awareness to compete. We've got to compete reputationally with other providers.
I hate hearing that because I don't think you do. I think
Okay.
someone told me, a mentor of mine told me 12 years ago. I said, "Oh my God, 12 years ago, I was competing with 963 marketing agencies in the Greater Toronto area." He said to me, "There's always customers for everybody. Don't try to compete. What you want to do is you want to focus on building your brand based on what sets you apart from others, not necessarily
Mhm.
competing with others." And I took that to heart. It made absolute sense. If you notice, my title says Chief Amazement Officer because I
Yeah.
just wanted to
Yeah.
set myself apart.
Yeah.
So when you run your campaign, don't look at what your competitors are doing because they could be
Mhm.
100% wrong. It's good to look at what your competitors are doing so you can see
Yes.
if you're in the same, realm as them. But what you want to do is you want to see what they're doing and set yourself 10 times different than them.
Okay. So differentiate.
100%
Differentiate. Okay.
differentiate. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And of course, be relevant to my clients, and provide them with what they need. So to fill the jobs that they need me to fill.
Be very concise, very
Okay.
short, very to the point.
Okay.
No fluff. Remember, AI hates fluff.
Okay.
Make sure it's no fluff. That's so important.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I've said this in other presentations, but when you run your keywords, when you set up keywords, just remember people are looking for keywords that are answering a question. So maybe ask the question in your ads and then have the answer as a keyword. And you don't have to go short words. You can go longer. You can do a phrase match.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll have to think about that. There's a lot of questions. It's
Good.
healthcare. There's a lot of questions I know they're searching
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is
Okay.
where you're gonna shine and you're gonna outperform all of your competitors. As set
Yeah.
up a campaign just on FAQs. Just set up a campaign on
Okay.
FAQs.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that's a neat idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your world, it's like that. It's bread and butter would be FAQs,
Okay. Okay.
especially
Um,
if you have like office managers that are clueless looking for things.
mhm. Okay. I've never done that before. That would be neat. I'm going to give that a try.
You should. And then if you
Yeah.
win and you become a millionaire, just say
Yeah.
Miriam told me to do that.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks very much. I really like
Of
that one.
course. Any other questions, guys? Okay. So let me see if there's anything in the chat. All right. Um, this will be posted on our YouTube channel, and I will send it out as an email to everybody. Plus the presentation. My website is digitalmarketingexperts.ca. Connect with me if you have any questions. I'm always available. That's not true. Book a time because I'm not always available, but I will make myself available for you. It was great. Thank you so much, guys, for joining, and I'm very thankful. Hopefully, you guys can join the next meeting, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everyone. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Have a good day.